obviously my name is Mark Roper. I'm based in London. I run a personal training business from there. Got qualified as a trainer in 2005. First year was fairly stereotypical of being a new trainer, not hugely knowing what I was doing, and it wasn't until I did my course with Charles Poliquin in 2006 and that was actually in Sydney, that I very much found my niche of what I wanted to do, more strength and conditioning based. So from there I was very lucky to start training a few athletes, mainly rugby players. Did that for a few years in Newcastle at a great facility, and then decided to make the move to London. It was a great move professionally for me in terms of very different clientele, much more corporate executives. And what I did is I managed to almost infiltrate 3 different law firms, and I trained all the partners from those 3 firms. Got a couple of people to work alongside me with it. And I'm just very passionate about training, passionate about making people healthier and trying to make them a better themselves, really. I think what I see with trainers going wrong is that they don't have a periodized program. So what they'll tend to do is they'll either just continually smash the client into the ground without a really sort of a focused approach of intensification and volume and load, basically. So I think that it's not periodized enough. There's not enough programming involved with it. So they're not looking maybe 2-3 months down the line of where they want the client to be. And I think with nutrition, they tend to overcomplicate things, in my opinion. I think nutrition should be fairly simple. So I think bringing it back down to basics, getting the basics right, improving people's sleep, so their energy levels improve, improving the quality of food that they're taking in, and almost simplifying the programming but with direction at the same time. So, in my opinion, it's the culture that's in the facility. So it doesn't necessarily have to have the most amazing equipment in the world, but I think it's very much who it's run by, who is at the top, and what are they filtering down to the rest of the staff. I think that the people who own the facility should be always educating themselves, looking to better themselves. That will then filter down through the other trainers. I think having a systemized approach within that gym, so everybody trains within relatively the same methodologies. There's obviously going to be different personalities and maybe slightly different ways of teaching, but there should be the same almost uniformed way of teaching people. So I think that there needs to be community within those facilities as well, where the staff, the clients, they all get along. I think if it doesn't have that personalized approach, it will never be the facility it could be. So in the last 12 months, okay, so I would say I've learned a lot more about blood testing, like blood chemistry testing, hormone testing, allergy testing. So I've learned a lot of that through Dr. Eric Serrano and Owen Lacey at the ISI. So I'm starting to integrate that into my own client's practice a little bit more. I'm a long way from knowing everything about it, but I think for me that's the one thing that I'm really trying to learn a lot more of. And also as well is the presenting side of things. Obviously I'm very lucky to be over here at Inner Strength Performance presenting, and that's been a big passion of mine, of something that I want to improve. So learning how to present, how to be a better speaker, to get the information over, because I think that's one thing. I've done a lot of seminars over the years, and I've been in some fantastic seminars. I've been in some seminars where you pretty much want to fall asleep, or you've finished the day and you haven't remembered a single thing. So for me, those 2 things have probably been the things I've learned the most. And on top of that, very much, and I said this earlier, just simplifying my systems, simplifying nutrition protocols as much as possible, because I think clients appreciate that. And at the end of the day, I'm not really training athletes anymore. I'm training, you may as well say, average Joes who are in very stressful jobs. And I think they need as little stress added to their life as possible. So simplifying structure so it makes their life easier is probably one thing I've really learned to modify. The longer I've gone through my career, the more simple I've made things.
Oh, fair enough.
I think obviously there's been some great people in the field who have made it more popular. People like the Institute of Functional Medicine is probably the most well-known institute. Dr. Mark Hyman, people such as that. And I think people have recognized that maybe the current medical practice isn't working for the majority of people. I don't know the medical practice over here exactly, but in the UK, I think it's failing people. A lot of the sort of government guidelines that they recommend in terms of carbohydrate intake, fruit and vegetable intake is way out of sync for what it should be. So I think people have recognized that there's an issue and that something else needs to be done, that there needs to be why is this happening, rather than just giving them a pill try and fix it, you know. So rather than masking it over, trying to fix the root cause of the issue. And that's what I like about functional medicine, is that it is the sort of medicine of why, you know, why is this happening, trying to delve deeper into the person's health. So my favorite modality of training, I would say, is I love sprint training. I think it's not for everyone. You have to be relatively advanced or at least have half decent biomechanics. But I love being outside, and I think it's a great way to become leaner. And it's a great thing to add into somebody's protocol. And obviously it doesn't have to be sprinting on a track, you know, it could be high intensity interval training on a rowing machine, on a bike, or whatever it is. But getting outside and also bringing in things like modified strongman training, I do like. Things where you're moving a little bit more. I love the gym and, you know, your big compound lifts, squat and deadlift and chin-ups, etc. But I think it's just a change of scenery, because obviously I'm in the gym all day long, so it's nice to go outside and to train in a different environment.